What keeps you up at night?
Well, it's quite hard to run companies,
Yeah.
especially car companies, I have to say. It's quite challenging.
The car business is the hardest one of all the things you do?
Yes.
Because it's a consumer-oriented business as opposed to like SpaceX and...
Not that SpaceX is no walk in the park, but a car company, it's very difficult to keep a car company alive. It's very difficult. You know, there's only 2 car companies in the history of American car companies that haven't gone bankrupt, and that's Ford and Tesla. That's it.
Yeah, Ford rode out that crazy storm, huh? They're the only ones.
By the skin of their teeth.
Shout out to the Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the skin of their teeth. That is interesting, right?
Same with Tesla. We barely survived.
How close did you get to folding?
Very close. We, 2008 is not a good time to be a car company, especially a startup car company, and especially an electric car company. That was like stupidity squared.
And this is when you had those cool roadsters with the T-top,
Yeah.
with the target top?
Yeah. We had like, used a highly modified Elise chassis. The body was all completely different. By the way, that was a super dumb strategy that we actually did.
Why was it dumb?
It was based on 2 false premises. One false premise was that we'd be able to cheaply convert the Lotus Elise and use that as a car platform, and that we would be able to use technology from this little company called AC Propulsion for the electric drivetrain and the battery. Problem is, the AC Propulsion technology did not work in production, and we ended up using none of it in the long term. None of it. We had to redesign everything. And then once you add a battery pack and an electric motor to the car, it got heavier. It got 30% heavier. Invalidated the entire structure, all the crash structure. Everything had to be redone. Nothing. I think it had less than 7% of the parts were common with any other device, including cars or anything.
Less than 7%?
Yes.
Everything, including tires and wheels, bolts, brakes,
Yeah, even
steering wheel, seats.
the steering wheel was, I think the steering wheel was almost the same. Yes, the windscreen, windscreen.
Different.
No, I think the windscreen was the same.
Same.
Yes, I think we were able to keep the
Less
windscreen.
than 7%. So that's basically...
Every body panel was different. The entire structure was different. We couldn't use the HVAC system. The air conditioner was a belt-driven air conditioner. So now we needed something that was electrically driven. We needed a new AC compressor.
And all that takes away from the battery life as well, right?
Yeah, we needed a small, highly efficient air conditioning system that fit in a tiny car and was electrically powered, not belt-driven. It was very difficult.
How much did those weigh? Those cars? The Roadster?
I think it was about 2,700 pounds.
That's still very light.
Depending on which version, 2,650 to 2,750 pounds, something like that.
And what was the weight distribution?
It was about 50... Well, there were different versions of the car. So it was about 55 on the rear. Because it was rear bias.
Right, but not bad. Like considering like a 911, which is like one of the most popular sports cars of all time, heavy rear end bias.
Well, I mean, yeah, the 911. I think the joke is like they managed to do it despite Newton not being on their side.
Yeah.
If you're fighting Newton, it's very difficult.
Well,
it's like you've got this. The moments of inertia on a 911 don't make any sense.
They do once you understand them. Once you understand,
you don't want to hang the engine off the ass. That is not a wise move.
You don't want to let up on the gas when you're in a corner.
The problem with something that's where the engine is mounted over the rear axle or off the rear axle towards the rear is that your pull moment of inertia is fundamentally screwed. You cannot solve this. It's unsolvable. You're screwed. Pull moment of inertia you're screwed.
Right.
Like essentially, if you spun the car like a top. That's your pull moment of inertia. You're just... I promised I wouldn't swear on this show, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
To who?
So it was my friend.
Tell that friend to go fuck himself. Who told you not to swear?
A friend.
It's not a good friend.
Yes.
That
Only I
friend
would
needs
swear.
to realize you're fucking Elon Musk. You can do whatever you want, man. If you ever get confused, call me.
I'll swear in private.